You're the spouse of an international student or worker inside of Canada. You've been approved by an overseas embassy for an open work permit. You arrive at one of the major ports of entry in Canada, whether an airport, land, or seaboard. And the first person you see is the CBSA officer. They will interview you before issuing the work permit for you, and they will be the last person to decide on your application and can decide to refuse you, even though you have an approval letter from the overseas embassy. What do you do now? What questions will they ask you? What documents should you have ready? Hello, my name is Reza and I work with Ingwe Canada Licensed Immigration Team, helping applicants to move to Canada. Whether it's for yourself, your kids, your business, or all of the above, we make it happen. Today we will list the questions that a CBSA may ask you as a spouse or partner of an international student or worker inside Canada before issuing your work permit on arrival to Canada. They may ask you any of the following questions when you first arrive. The key is to be prepared and not to be caught off guard. That's the worst thing you can do, is either to look surprised or not know the basic answers to these questions that we will cover today. They don't like it when you play dumb. Of course, everyone knows that you need your documentation on arrival, the basic stuff. Valid passport, valid Canadian visitor visa or electronic travel authorization, introduction letter for your open work permit approval, supporting documentation for the original application that you submitted online, and the address where you're staying and the contact info of the principal applicant, such as your spouse or partner, based on which you received your open work permit. Here are some of the questions the CBSA officer may ask you, the spouse or partner of the main applicant who is already inside Canada. Remember, any of these questions may apply to your spouse partner inside Canada if they're either an international student studying full-time or completing their co-op or working full-time for an employer. This can include PGWP and closed work permit holders. What is the current status of your spouse partner inside of Canada? Please note, they must have valid status inside Canada, either as a full-time worker or student. What is the expiry date of your spouse partner's permit? Spousal Open Work Permit should have a validity that matches the principal foreign national's work permit, or until the expiry of the spouse or common law's passport or travel document, whichever is earlier. Is the principal student worker inside or outside of Canada? They may ask you this. Under the Bridging Open Work Permit programs, the principal applicant, they must be inside of Canada. Other programs allow some leeway in terms of paid vacation, academic holiday, which justifies a short-term leave or traveling outside of Canada in case they're not there at that moment. Next question. Are they a student or worker? Were they working or studying? Are they full-time or part-time? That's a trick question. They cannot be part-time. Do you have enough funds to support yourself? So don't mention that you're going to find work and support yourself. You should already have the funds to support yourself. What is the name of your spouse or partner? Okay, if you don't know the answer to that question, please stop right now. Name location of the school that they're studying at, if they're an international student. What subjects are they studying? Which semesters are they currently in? When the program started, when will he or she graduate? For partner spouses of international students, make sure you have all the supporting documentation to satisfy the CBSA officer regarding the genuineness of your relationship, whether it's common law or marriage, evidence that the principal applicant is attending the school if they're an international student, evidence that they're engaged in full-time studies or transcript or letter, or if they're working full-time work, employment reference letter and or pay stubs, and if they are an international student, an enrollment letter. If they're in a private school like a college outside of Quebec, they should be enrolled in a degree-based program. Otherwise, you as a spouse or common law partner are not eligible for an open spousal work permit. Do they also work as a student? What type of relationship do you have with your partner or spouse? Show me photos of your spouse or partner. If you don't have a photo, that looks weird, right? If they're really your spouse or partner, why don't you have a photo of them? Show me your travel ticket. Where will you go now? Who will pick you up from the airport? What occupation is your partner or spouse working in? This is a very important question. Partners or spouses of full-time workers under specific programs such as the Provincial Nominee or Atlantic Immigration Program have additional criteria which we'll be covering in this section. So for AIP, Atlantic Immigration Program work permit holders, as the principal applicant inside Canada, they must be working in an occupation NOC 0, A, B, or C and have a valid work permit under this category and an approval under the AIP stream. So this is very important. You need to provide documentations to the CBSA office about this. For the Provincial Nominee Program, any NOC code is fine. For international students, it has to be NOC 0, A or B. And typically the way you prove it is through pay stubs and an employment reference letter. You need those available with you. If the principal applicant is a bridging open work permit holder, the CBSA officer will require proof of the NOC code of the occupation inside Canada. For BOW principal applicants, all categories require NOC 0, A or B except provincial nominees and federal skilled trades. Do you have the proof that your spouse or partner is working in these NOC codes? So either 2 pay stubs and an employment reference letter or contract would suffice. How long is your partner spouse's work permit valid for? Well, under the Atlantic Immigration Program and the Provincial Nominee Program, principal applicants' work permits must be valid for 6 months after the Spousal Open Work Permit application is submitted. For international students and closed work permit holders, the Spousal Open Work Permit should have a validity that matches the principal applicants. And don't forget the basic questions they may ask anyone arriving at the border, including you. The key for an open work permit as a spouse or partner is that you're a temporary resident and expected to return to your home country. So they may ask you about your profession, family ties, employment ties to your home country, assets and financials. So remember, the CBSA officer at the border has the last say in the decision to issue you your work permit. It's not done until you have it in your hand and you've passed the border and the inspection. If you're thinking about immigrating to Canada through studies, work, sponsorship, or business, you're at the right place. We are licensed in Canada and we help applicants like yourself and your families. I don't guarantee you anything, but what I will guarantee you is that you will know what to expect, the entire process clearly laid out for you, all the risks identified, and where we can provide 100% support to you as our client. No surprises, just results. Our team speaks over 8 languages and we help applicants from over 47 different countries during their Canadian immigration process. Click the link below this video and get a free assessment. If you already know what you want and your timeline is clear and you're ready to apply, 100% serious applicants only, then you can also book a one-on-one consultation with me using the consultation link in the description of this video. And remember, if you have questions, we're here weekly, live on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram every Thursday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, which is the local time here in Toronto, and as well as Miami, Ottawa, Montreal, New York. This is where we answer all your questions live on the spot for free every week during our live session. See you soon.